You can hear me. Whether you've got burning questions in regards to Cricut, or you just want to hang out, have a cup of tea or a bit of coffee and craft, then you've come to the right place. If you don't know who I am, my name's Paul from Scissors Paper Paul on YouTube now, as well as Facebook and Instagram, and I'm here to share my expertise on all things Cricut, so that you can master these incredible machines and products and ultimately make beautiful things. So, if you are new to me and I don't know who you are, don't know you from any of the other socials, please type new in the comments so I get to know you. If you've got any questions, also please just put a Q or question in front, and that way when I'm scrolling through, I can easily identify who's got some questions. So thanks everyone who's joined so far. I'm just going to have a look at the comments and see who's here. I'll be honest, I thought I'd be doing this to myself today, so it's really nice. Thanks for jumping on, everyone. I appreciate it. Hey, Bernie, thanks for waving. Let's just pretend that I did see you waving. I appreciate it. Hey, Megan, welcome to the live. I've never gone live in YouTube before, so this is I'm popping my YouTube cherry. Suzette can hear me. Thanks for letting me know, Suzette. I appreciate it. And we've got Tally Links. That sounds interesting. Hey, Tally Links, welcome to the live. Who else is here? Carolyn's here and she can hear me. Awesome. Old, really old. Not sure what that's all about. It's probably for me. But yeah, look, thanks once again for joining me today. Really appreciate it. If you saw my post begging you to obviously subscribe and follow me on YouTube, I appreciate you for doing so. I came up with this idea of, T for 10, not 2, but 10, because I figured I'm going to go live on YouTube for 10 minutes. I'm going to rabble, I'm just going to waffle on and ramble, and there'll be nobody there. And after 10 minutes, I'm going to end it. Or if someone jumps on, hey, we can go a little bit longer. So that's the concept of T for 10. Looking to do it quite regularly. I was thinking 10 o'clock on a Sunday, because of T for 10 again. But someone, WA, said that's super early for them, so I pushed it a little bit later. But again, let me know in the comments if there's a better time that works for you, day of the week. Any feedback, all welcome. Really, really appreciate it. If you're watching this on the replay, also please give me your feedback as well. But yeah, ultimately, it's a place to hang out. Let's just have a bit of a chit chat. I've got a little unboxing to do today, which I'm really excited about, and that kind of led me into the idea of doing a project. But you can ask me anything. I'm using the Joy today. I've got the Joy today, but we can talk about the Maker. We can talk about the quick swap tools. We can talk about the Air 2. You name it. We're all good. So just checking the comments again. Hey, Jan, welcome. Let me know where you're from. Are you in Australia? You're from somewhere else? But thanks for being here. So let's get started. I hope you've got a cup of tea all ready to go. Let's have a wee look-see. So I'm going to move these aside. If you don't know if you can see what these are. These are actually smart vinyls in the iron-on. I've also got a t-shirt here, so that might give you a little bit of a hint of what I'm going to unbox and what we're going to make today. So here is my literal box, and I'm going to get my handy-dandy Cricut True Control knife and just finish opening this box. Suzette saying the time's good. Thanks, Suzette. I appreciate that. Kind of works for me too. So it's just before lunch. I figure, it's Sunday morning. Sleep in, get up, get crafty. So open the box. I'm so excited about this because get it out of the box. I am about to complete my... Can anyone guess what this is? That looks good, doesn't it? Here we go. I'm about to complete my EasyPress collection. So happy birthday to me for earlier in the month. But I decided I've got the large EasyPress 2, which is 10 by 12. I've got the medium EasyPress 2, which is 9x9, and I'm talking in inches. I do apologize. That's how I craft. And now I've got this small EasyPress, which is 6x7 inches, or I can tell you because it's on the box, 15 centimeters by 17.5 centimeters. I do have the mini as well. So now I've collected all three. So I'm going to open this today. Get it out of the box and then I'll check some more comments. So if you've not purchased the EasyPress before, you do get a little welcome envelope, little pack. I'm just going to open that up. And that has all of your warranty and registration information. Wouldn't worry too much about the registration piece. There is also a quick start guide with instructions on your first little test project, and this is already pre-cut for us, so we're going to make that, but we'll also make another little project as well. So all of that, all the safety instructions, everything contained within the packet. With your EasyPress 2 as well, you need to make sure that you are purchasing from an Australian supplier, because of course for this particular product the voltage is different in Australia than it is New Zealand, and there's no, you know, you have with the machines, you get the little the pop box pack that kind of converts or whatever the voltage, which is fine to use in Australia, but otherwise you absolutely need to. So cute. You need to get the Australian one because there's no converter in there. It's an Australian plug. So awesome. Just move that aside. And here it is. It's so cute. Just check the comments. Jan's in country Victoria. Been watching videos for a while. Awesome. Bernie's got a question. What's the one thing you or all of us must have in your craft room or craft area? Oh, for me it's baby wipes. Well, that's a really good question. I'm going to have a wee think on that. Everyone else feel free to chime in. Let us know what's your essential item. I actually have to say, and it just came to me, I have to say probably the thing I use with most projects would be my Cricut trimmer, because you can trim paper, vinyl, iron-on, faux leather, you name it. And if you don't know, because a lot of people buy these and they don't realize, there is actually an extender arm as well, which goes all the way out to 15 inches. And you also can get the scoring attachment as well, which you can just hold on the back. And that enables you to cut and then also score if you're making a paper craft project. So that is a definite go-to for me. Great question, Bernie. Okay, lots of awesome. Carolyn's excited to see some projects on the Joy. I've had it since the release, but it's never been opened. Okay, well today you need to open your Joy. So I'm going to take off the protective layer here. I'm just going to use my True Control knife very carefully. Just cut that. And with your EasyPress as standard, you get your, if you don't know already, your base, which is heat resistant. It's going to enable you to set your EasyPress while it's hot on there nice and safely, but also it's going to protect your surface. So really, really nice tool. The other thing is, because of the shape, it means that if there are little people running around and knocking things and potentially pulling on cords, it's really nice and stable as well. So it's not going to fall off, not very easily anyway, like an iron or something like that would. And here's our little EasyPress, again, lovely and well packed. This is so adorable. I just love seeing these things when they're smaller, because it just really looks like a miniaturized version of the larger machines. So we'll get rid of the plastic. So here it is, a little EasyPress 2, 6x7 or 15 by 17.5 centimeters. Like always, we've got our on and off switch. We can control our temperature, and you can do that in Fahrenheit as well as Celsius. You've got your timer, so you're always going to get the perfect results each and every time, because you choose the temperature and time depending on what you're applying it to. And yeah, you're going to get those fabulous results. You've got your plus and the minus go up and down, and of course the Cricut C, just like with the Maker and Explore machines, which is going to tell us 1, when it's ready, and 2, when it's ready to go. The other great safety feature with these as well is that they will switch off after a particular amount of time if they've not been used. So if you're racing out to school pickup or anything like that, you don't need to stress. Cricut's got you covered. We've got the non-stick base as well. Okay, you've got edge-to-edge heating. Again, not like an iron. An iron, you've got little spots for the steam that would normally come out, and of course they're not going to heat up. But you're getting edge-to-edge, even heating all the way across the plate. And this one is so light. My goodness, I'm not particularly strong, so it's super, super light. I'm going to pop this aside and I'm going to plug it in. We'll get it turned on. Okay, I'm just going to move my cup of tea, my mouse and a few things out the way. I'm just going to pop it here, so make sure I've got everything that I need. I can control everything. All right, awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to turn it on power as well. I'm going to turn it on. Now I'm just going to flip over until show you my mobile. I'm just going to have a quick look at the heat guide. So what I'm going to do is we get this lovely little, I think it's Calico bag. I really should read the instructions. It probably would tell me. Got a little okay, so it's actually telling me what the time and temperature is. I think it is Calico. We'll have a look at the app when we come to do our next project. But it's telling me that it needs to be at 290 degrees Fahrenheit or 145 degrees Celsius. So this is set to Celsius. So I'm just going to use my plus arrow. If you hold it down, it just goes up in increments of 5. And I'm just going to bump that up to 145. Here we go, 125, 135, 145. And for 30 seconds, which it's defaulting to as well. So it's flashing now. The Cricut C is orange, telling me that it's warming up. So I'll pop those instructions aside. Again, always handy to read those. And what I did do, which is not included, is I also purchased the small EasyPress mat. Now you can use any size EasyPress mat that you want, but I find it's just easier to have the different sizes to match the machines, and also the small's really good for the mini as well. So now we're going to pop down our EasyPress mat, which is also going to protect our surface. This is also specifically designed to wick away any moisture from the project and also push the heat back up into your project. So again, getting those perfect results each and every time. So we're going to just pop that over our EasyPress mat, our little bag. We're going to preheat, okay, for about 5 seconds. Again, making sure we're getting all the moisture out and we're going to get that perfect application. Now this is glitter vinyl, so I just want to check as well for pressure. Gentle pressure. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our Cricut C, which is glitter vinyl. We're going to pop that the right side up in the middle of our bag, however we want it, however you want it. It's completely up to you. We're going to take our EasyPress and we are going to pop that on top, press the Cricut C, and then just light pressure, holding it down, and it's going to count down and it's going to beep exactly when the time has run out. So that's a really great feature as well. You don't have to count in your head. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. It's doing it all for you. And what we will do is we will flip it over as well. You should flip your designs over for another 15 seconds typically. It'll tell you on the heat guide, just to make sure, hear that beep, just to make sure that it is adhered correctly. So I'm just going to pop this over, put my EasyPress back down. I'm going to start my timer, but I'm only going to do this for 15 seconds. Again, light pressure. And then we're going to get started on our next project, and that's 15 seconds. So I'm just going to pop that over here now. I'm going to leave it on because we're going to use it. And I'll just check again what the instructions say. Okay, so then it says, while the iron film still feels warm to touch, test a corner, and you can reapply if it hasn't adhered properly, or you can just peel it off. So I'm just going to give this a little shaky shake, which is the technical term, of course. And let's have a look. So now, well, it's quite warm. I'd say it's probably hot rather than warm, so I'll just give it another little shaky shake, and then I'll check some of your comments. I'm just peeling back a little bit of the corner. Hopefully you can see. And you all know that I have a love-hate relationship with glitter. Those of you that know me, I do love it on things like this on iron-on. I don't like it so much stuck to myself or my hands and all over my surfaces, but how cute's that? So that's your little welcome project. This beautiful little glitter calico bag that you, of course, you can use to transport your EasyPress or keep it dust free as well. So really, really handy project. I'm just going to pop that down there. The other thing that I did buy as well, again, happy birthday to me, was I did buy the small EasyPress 2 tote. And what's so great about this one, they look amazing, fabulous. You've got a super long, I haven't even unpacked this one yet either, super long cord. There is also, I'm going to show you because it's really cute. I'll just very carefully, let's take off this, get this holder out of the way. There is also a really nice leather embellishment on the handle. Oh, sorry. On the handle, hopefully you can see that it says Cricut. But I think it's really nice because it's nice to see something a little bit more masculine, if you like, rather than, you know, balance out the glitter. But what's great about this is it's heat resistant. So you can, you know, I don't like to put mine in like burning hot, but basically once you've finished with it, you've turned it off, you can pack the stand, the EasyPress away, pop, you know, tie up your cord, pop that in on top. It's got a nice little handy strap as well. And then you can close it and it's good to go and it's safe. So they're really, really useful to have. I do have those in all 3 sizes as well. All right, but let's have a quick look at some comments, and then we're going to make a t-shirt for my son, actually. So Suzette's saying she misses having a timer on the Mini. I know, it's funny. With the Mini, you get 3 settings, heat settings, and you've got to count. It works a little bit different to the other EasyPresses. It takes a bit to get used to, I agree. Especially if you've forgotten to start counting. You're like, oh, how long's it been? 3 seconds, 4 seconds? Suzette's asking me where I got my EasyPress case from. That is from the, and I'm just getting a delivery now, of course. I'm just going to ignore it and hope it goes away. But this was from Spotlight. So you can get those from Spotlight. I'll just have to take it to the post office. All right. If it rings again, I might have to go and get it. I apologize. The magic of live YouTubing. It's not all glitz and glamour, is it? Let's have a look at a couple more questions and then we'll get started on the next project. Chris is saying, hey Caroline, you are going to love the Joy. It's a perfect companion to the bigger machines. So no such thing as scraps with the Joy. Perfect for scraps. Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. That's a really, really great point. But let's do our Cricut Joy project because and then we'll look at some more comments. So I'm just going to share my screen so you can see. I'm just going to go to Cricut Design Space. So you're all familiar with this. Now, Cricut Joy does have its own app. So if you're making, drink bottle labels or writable labels for any of your crafts, anything really, I labeled all of my craft holdy things. Again, the technical term, not really, from IKEA, the pegboards. I use the writable pen and the writable printable, the writable labels with the Joy, and you can do all of that inside the Cricut Joy app as well. So everything, all the content in the Cricut Joy app is free at the moment as well. The other really great feature is if you're familiar with Design Space and you're writing a name or a word with a scripty font, you have to, reduce the letter spacing or change it to so that your individual letters and move them closer together and then potentially weld. Where I think it's called kerning or curling. The Cricut Joy app does it for you automatically, which is really cool. All right, so I'm going to do a pre-made, ready-to-make project. So I'm just going to search gamer. Now, if you saw my level 45 unlocked t-shirt for my 45th birthday, you know that my son's a gamer, and that's why I made it. So I'm going to take this. Now, this is a backpack image, but I'm actually going to customize this, and I'm going to make it for a t-shirt. So I'm going to replace my existing image or project. If I go to edit, I can see that it's almost 8 inches wide and 4.5 inches tall. Now I'll just grab my t-shirt. That's probably a bit wide, 8 inches. He's only 11 and he's actually a really small size 11. So I'm just going to, yeah, that's way too big. I'm going to do mine about 7 inches. Now, while I'm doing this final adjustment, let me know, shall I do green glitter, remembering it is for my son, or I thought I might just do just a white on there as well. So let me know what color you think I should do. All right, so I'm going to change the width, and I'm just going to make it, maybe I'll do 7.5. Let me have a look. I mean, this is a great thing about when you're making, right? No, actually, I think 7.5 is going to be way too long. So I'm probably going to regret it now and want that extra ½ inch. But anyway, I'm going to change this to 7. Try again. 7 inches. And that's about 4 inches tall now. So I'm going to click Make It. To see if anyone's commenting on the color. So we've got white from Megan, white from Bernie. Yeah, everyone's saying white. Awesome. Thanks, ladies. Appreciate it. Excellent. All right, so let's click continue. We'll make it. And I'm going to cut it without the mat because we're using smart materials. Great thing about the Joy Smart Materials, you don't need a mat, okay? You get a mat in the with your machine. There's also a fabulous Harvey Norman bundle. I'll edit the description and put that in the comment, in the description, a link to that. So if you are looking at the Joy, I would definitely recommend the best deal at the moment is Harvey Norman. The one thing that you need to remember if you're new to Cricut and you don't have any tools is there is a 3-piece, so you get your spatula, you get your weeding tool is essential, and your scraper, another essential item as well. That is also available on the Harvey Norman website, but it's not included in the bundle, so you might want to grab those as well. If you're a Cricut user, you may already have them, or you may want everything matchy-match as well. So up to you. Okay, so we're going to do without a mat. Now, because this is iron-on, I've got to reverse my design just like I would with the other machines. And so I've got down the very bottom there, mirror for iron-on. So I'm going to check that box and then go back to my design. And it's telling me that I need 8.5 inches of material. So I will have enough in this because this is actually a new box. Again, my handy dandy. I'm starting to think that this is actually my craft tool go-to. I do use my True Control knife a lot. It's really handy, but with the trimmer as well. So we'll do that. We'll open this up. We're going to click continue. There's no buttons on the Cricut Joy as well. I'm going to select my machine. And take out my materials. So these are just like your other iron-on products. They have a shiny side, and they also have a dull side. So you want to cut them shiny side down because the shiny side is a carrier sheet that protects your EasyPress from the actual iron-on. Otherwise, it would just completely melt and it would, gunk up and be all over your EasyPress. You can clean it off, so don't stress. If you do make a mistake, I have had some materials stick to my EasyPress and I forgot to protect it. Because also with the EasyPress iron-on, you can use it on cardstock. You can use it on leather. It's not just for t-shirts and things like that. All right, you can use it. I think I can get a really beautiful, really fine detailed cut when I'm looking at my when I'm cutting with iron-on. that I can't necessarily get with cardstock. So on a card, what I will do is I will cut the really fine sentiment and then I'll iron it onto the card, and it's just beautiful. And you can do it in foils and glitters and really nice, iron-on products as well. So just give it a real nice pop. So hopefully you can see this is kind of super shiny, and then the other side is matte, dull. Yep, so it's shiny side down. We're going to choose our material, which is... I haven't used it, so I'm going to go all materials, smart iron on, and then I'm just going to feed it into the machine. So between the feed guides, just gently in, the rollers start working. It's going to check and make sure that I've got enough materials. It's happy, and then it's going to ask me that if I'm happy, I can tap go, which I'm going to do, and it's going to start cutting. So I'll just move this out of the way, and we'll let that cut, and we'll check some comments. You can ask me all sorts of questions, guys. It doesn't have to be related to the Cricut Joy. Who's coming to the Craftathon? Hope everyone that's watching got a ticket. Can't wait, I'm so excited. Megan's saying that she's going to make her first mask today. What size would you recommend for adults? So for me, I have one here. So this is the small to medium, and I think you'll see it's a really good size, and I'm talking now and it's still sitting on my nose. So that's the one that I would recommend if you've got a normal size head. Like I'm a guy, but I'm not particularly kind of large, I suppose. So I would recommend going with the small to medium for if I was making it for my mum, my sister, my partner. I might go a little bit. He's got a slightly bigger head, but I think even that would work for him. So small to medium for most. Let's have a wee looky-loo. Lots of votes for the whites, I'm glad. Oh, Suzette, it was black. I only just saw that. Yeah, I did think about black, but I just thought it might have been a bit boring. And I also think like black is really hard to find sometimes. And it's a really good base colour, so I thought I might just try and save my black. Jane bought the Harvey Norman Joy bundle. Awesome. She loves it. And you've got the Explore as well. Fantastic. Both great machines. The Joy, people look at it and think I can only do small things, but you can do a lot with the Cricut Joy. Obviously, it's fabulous for making cards. So easy. But I had a t-shirt on the other day, and it says, what does it say? Push all my buttons, scissors, paper, pull, and then it has the logos for Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And all of that can be cut on this. It's all small enough to be able to be cut. Plus with the Joy, you can cut up to 1.2 meters in one go. I mean, that's incredible. So our design's finished. So I'll shoot that design out and click unload. And then I'll take you back to the main screen here. Awesome. So we've unloaded that, and out it comes. We'll pop that closed. And here I'm going to use my trimmer now. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. And I'm just going to trim off the excess. So I don't waste any. Just lining that up. Make sure I don't cut it where I want it. Awesome. And then I can pop that piece away and I can use that another day. Okay, so here's my vinyl. Again, I didn't need a mat. How handy is that? I'm going to move this across here, and then I'm just going to weed. So I'm getting my weeding tool. I don't know if anyone is new to Cricut and you've never had one before. So just looking at my outer layer first, I'm going to whip that off. So trusting that my machine has cut, I'm just going to be quite firm with it. So I'm just pulling at it. Don't go too crazy, just take your time, try and get as much off in one go as you can. Some of it will stay behind and we'll go through and we'll make sure we tidy it all up. I'm just pulling at it. Okay. There's some of it coming off. So yeah, and that's the other great thing again, if you've got these really fine designs, you don't have to be really gentle with iron-on. Whereas with vinyl, you've got to be a little bit more cautious because you don't want the rest of your design pulling up. Whereas iron-on's really good at letting you, comfortably grab and pull on the negative pieces that you don't actually want. I'm just popping that into the sun so I can see the pieces that I want to remove. I do like having my matching weeding tools. There is a weeding tool kit as well, which is available at Spotlight. If you do a lot of vinyl projects, you might want to look at that, but you get different types of tools depending on the project. So you get some tiny little needle nose, sort of stabby plier pieces and all sorts of things. It's really cool. Okay. Bear with me while I do this. Let me know what you're doing for the rest of your Sunday. Will you be crafting? If you are crafting, what else are you making? I know, Megan, you're making masks. There is a tutorial on Cricut for Australians as well. If you have not made one before, you might want to check that out. I thought this was a really cute design because with lockdown, my son, I'll be honest, he's watching a lot more TV than he used to. And I am, I'm okay with that. We're all going through it. But yeah, quite often I can see that interrupting his games is not necessarily would not be his preference, having to hit pause a couple of times now and again. So I thought this was quite hilarious. Hopefully he'll agree. Oops, turn around this way. And you can see now on the correct side, saying I paused my game, well, I will say game, to be here. So now I'll just weed out that main piece and we are good to do our application. Often I'd say recommended to have your design open on screen as well, so you can kind of see what you're aiming for, but I'm trusting in my visual spatial skills, which do often let me down, but they seem to be okay today. So far I haven't removed a wrong piece, but I'm not quite there yet. So one more letter. Okay, all right, so we are done. So let's go back to the mobile so you can see what I've got here. Now I'm going to go back to the heat guide. So with Smart Iron-On, the one thing to remember as well, so I've chosen EasyPress 2, but you can choose EasyPress 1 or you can choose the Mini as well, and it will give you the instructions. I don't know why it's gone. Let's go back there again. There we go. Okay. I don't know why it's going a bit wackadoo, but anyway, with the type of vinyl, so normally we've got everyday iron-on and stuff like that, but if I actually keep scrolling down, we can see the smart material. So they actually have their own settings for the EasyPress. So I'm going to choose Smart Iron-On. It's going on to 100% cotton t-shirt, and I've got my EasyPress matte, and then I click apply, and again it's telling me, we'll do it in Celsius, so I'm going to turn on my EasyPress because it turned off automatically. So I need it 155 degrees, and it's going to be 30 seconds light pressure, and then it says flip and press for 15 seconds, and it's cold peel. So we'll wait for that to warm up, and we'll get our t-shirt ready. While we're doing that, I'll just have a look some questions. So Bernie's asking, can you use the sorry, I'll just go back to my main screen. Can you use the smart materials in the Maker or Explore machines? You can. There are no specific settings for using those materials in those machines though. So you just have a little bit of a play and make sure that it's working for you. Great question, thank you. So this just beeps, so we know we're warm enough. So we might get this started and then we can do some more questions. So I've got my t-shirt. So I'm going to pop that down on my mat. Now I'm going to go sort of turn my EasyPress mat so I've got it sort of long ways because my design is ultimately the same width there. So I'm just going to put my t-shirt down on the mat. Okay, and I'm roughly centering it. Now you can fold your t-shirt like this and press down the middle and then fold it under the arms and press again to get a X across the middle and under the arms, so to line up your design. I don't sell anything, I just eyeball it. So far I've been pretty happy. Got a few questionable t-shirts in the wardrobe, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. I do also try and get my seams off the mat as well, so there's nothing impacting the application. But these are nice and spongy also, so I wouldn't be too concerned. So just trying to center it up on my mat, and that'll just help me line up my design. So I think that's about right. A little bit over. This bit up. Okay. And then I'm going to take my design, and this time I'm putting the right side up, so the carrier sheet is at the bottom, on the top, and I'm just going to center my design. For children, I typically try and center it around underneath the arms. That's kind of where I try and center it, and I feel that works really well for my son. You can see that it is kind of sticking there. If it doesn't stick, you can use heat transfer tape as well, or heat resistant tape, so you can just stick it down on your design as well if you want to, completely up to you, but I think that works. The one thing I didn't do, so I'm going to peel that off, so I'm just going to warm up my design as well. Now because this is 7 inches and my plate is 7 inches, I'm not going to necessarily be able to hit this whole design all at once. So I'm going to do it in 2 goes. And I wanted to do that on purpose because I wanted you to see that you can do larger designs even with the smaller machines. And likewise, if you've got the 9x9, you can do larger designs as you would with the 10x12. So they're still very flexible, even though it might be a little bit design might be a little bit large. So I'm going to do this in 2 sections. So what I'm going to do is go to one side, pop my EasyPress down, press the 30 seconds, light pressure. So light pressure, I just sort of lean on it to get that going. Once that counts down to 30 seconds, I'm going to lift it up and I'll put it on the other side and do another 30 seconds. So always making sure that you've got the contact with the EasyPress mat is there underneath your design. And we've got 5 seconds. Beep, and then just lift it up and over to the other side I go. I try not to overlap too much, but I'm not too bothered by it. You don't want to overcook your vinyl, but you should be fine in terms of doing this 2 applications. Should be no worries at all. If you ever do find you put it in the wash and it starts to peel as well, by all means, just make sure you've got something to protect it. So even baking paper, don't iron directly onto the vinyl without a carrier sheet. So baking paper, or if you have a Teflon sheet, anything like that to protect it. There it's beeped again. And then we'll do the right thing, we'll flip it over, and I'm just going to do the one time here and just try and hit most of it for 15 seconds. But yeah, you can just iron it on again. Of course, you can use an iron. I did use irons before I had an EasyPress, but to be honest, I gave up on iron-on. I just never ever got the results that I wanted. So I'll just pop that down there to cool. That's looking pretty good. And we'll have a look at some of your questions. I should say as well, let me try and make sure I'm getting the right thing. If you aren't following me on the other socials, I am Scissors Paper Paul on Instagram and Facebook. I am just sort of working out how I'm going to make that distinction between Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, because also I don't want to overlap anything I do here. I don't want it to be a direct, I don't want it to conflict exactly with what I'm doing on Cricut for Australians. So again, if you've got any feedback, any ideas, just let me know. But whether this is more sort of a craft along, chit chat, maybe it's quick tips, that sort of thing, those sort of projects, let me know. Because again, I just don't want to, overlap everything. But yeah, if you're not following me on other socials, please do. I am going to have a competition very soon as well on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're not following me, it will be worth it. Where am I? Let me go back to the main screen and have a look at some of your comments. Chris is excited about the craftathon. Chris, if you're around in about, what time is it? So basically after this, around lunchtime, Nat and I are going to jump on the craftathon group and just clarify a couple of questions that we're seeing popping up. So you might want to join that as well. Yay, Megan's coming to the craftathon. Can you believe we had 800 tickets? They sold out so quickly. Can't believe it. Angela's getting an EasyPress 2 out of the box today. Excellent. If you've got any problems, you've got any questions, just let me know. Again, don't worry about the registration process. That tends not to work for us in Australia. All of your warranty, everything like that will be fine. No problems there. Keep your registration information, but don't worry about plugging it in and all of that bizzo. Bernie's congratulating Angela. Yes, awesome. Bernie's in Melbourne as well. It's just horrible at the moment, isn't it? So your crafting is not allowed else we can do exactly. It sucks, right? Says it's just been down to Kmart, your lucky thing. Picked up a frame and paint for the craftathon. Brilliant. Click and collect. Yep. Says that's good having daylight next to your desk. Yes. When I do the crafts at night, I've got to put all this fake light up and everything, and I'm still kind of mastering that. It's definitely not as great, right? It's getting a bit of daylight, a bit of natural light in here. So I'm glad. I don't think I'm overexposed, because you got to be careful as well. You don't have too much. So thank you, Suzette, for noticing. Bernie saying, can you use normal HTV or iron-on in the Joy or Smart Materials? And Chris, thank you for answering. Yes, you can. You just need to use the matte. So the mattes you can get in the green and the blue. You get a green. I'll show you. You get this 4.5 by 6.5 inch matte with your machine as standard. With the but there are the 12-inch mats available as well in the blue and the green, and you get the green 12-inch with the Harvey Norman bundle included. But otherwise, you can pick those up if you've got something that's a little bit longer. Thank you, Chris. Just checking. Oh, it's nice and cool. I might just take this off now. This is lovely and cool. So peeling it off slowly, and again, just picking up a corner, making sure that it is actually stuck down. If it isn't, you can just reapply some heat and just slowly just peeling back that protective carrier sheet. All done. You can save those two potentially if you want to. They can be handy when you're doing a layering design and you just want to protect other parts of your design. And here's my t-shirt, completely wrinkled because I don't iron in my house. I EasyPress. But he's away at the moment at his nana's, just having a little care visit, taking some groceries and things like that. So when he comes home, I'll give him that, and hopefully he will love it. Chris is saying, awesome. Linda and her will be there after for the Craftathon live. Angela's saying thank you. Deborah's saying tea's gone cold. Yes, I've got all about my tea. Have you guys been having a little cuppa as well? I'll have a little sip now while it's still, I can feel, because this is obviously an insulated tumbler. So it's still warm. That's good. All right, we'll just check for some more comments. What something or other will you and Natalie be on Facebook? What time, Suzette? So it'll probably be about noon. All right, so based on the fact that this is pretty much coming to an end. One thing while I've got you, I've been working on a little opener, so I'm going to show you that. I haven't added any music to it. It's 5 seconds, but again, I'd love to get your feedback on it as well. Here's my little opener. So it's just going to go for 5 seconds, and it'll come back to me. I'll see you in a sec. What did you think? Tallylinks is loving my Tumblr. Thank you, Tallylinks. So it's all about nepotism, right? So it's all about me. So it's got my cartoon avatar on there, as well as my social media handle, Scissors Paper Paul. Handcrafted by the gorgeous Natalie from Nat's Crafty Life. If you're not following her on all the socials, you have to do that as well. Because she's amazing, and you can get if you want a Tumblr, she sells them as well. Megan saying love it, thank you. Angela saying the t-shirt's awesome, thank you. Alrighty, awesome. Look, thank you so much for attending my first ever Tea for 10. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of it. Again, any feedback is welcome. I want this to be really valuable to you as well. And who knows, I'll let you guys know what I'm going to do. I might do it again next week. Try to do it weekly would be good. But again, let me know what you want to see, and we'll go from there. Have a great day. Have the best end of weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.